Welcome to Math with Market. Today I'm gonna solve a really strange equation. Let's talk about this. If you have sin x equals 3, what is the value of x? How can you find it? You know that sin x is between positive 1 and negative 1. And if you graph a sin x, that's a periodic function, it's going to be like this and like this. This is minus 2 pi, this is 2 pi, and yes, it goes to infinity and minus infinity. But you know, this is sin x. X is a real numbers in sin x. So if x is a real number, the sin x will be between positive 1 and negative 1. But if you find the answer for sin x equals 3, x is the complex numbers that can be, it couldn't be a real number. So let's solve our question. According to Euler's formula, you know that e to the power of ix equals cosine x plus I times sine x. And if you put minus x in this equation, you can write e to the power of minus x equals cosine minus x, that's equal cosine x minus I sine x. Why? Because you know the sine minus x is equal minus sine x. So here we go. If we subtract these two equations, you know the 2i times sine x will be equal e to the power of ix minus e to the power of minus ix. Yes, that's it. So we wanted to find sine x. Okay, so it means sine x will be equal e to the power of ix minus e to the power of minus ix divided by 2i. So it means I can use this equation in the main equation. What was that? That was sine x equals 3. So instead of sine x, I want to use e to the power of ix minus e to the power of minus ix divided by 2i equals 3. Nice. So it means e to the power of ix minus 1 divided by e to the power of ix minus 6i equals 0. Isn't it nice? Of course that is. So it means we can use a substitution. E to the power of ix equals t. So if you want to find the solutions, you can write it as t squared minus 1, t, not square t. T minus 1 divided by t minus 6i equals 0. And if you multiply this equation by t, so we have a quadratic equation, t squared minus 6 times I times t minus 1 equal 0. So and yes, that is. So it means in this equation a equals positive 1, b equals minus 6i, and c equals minus 1, and t will be equal minus b positive and negative square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. If you don't know why that's correct, I prove why is correct in one of my videos, and I put the link of that video in description. You have to check if you don't know why is that correct. So it means, according to this really nice formula, t will be equal minus b, I mean 6i, positive and negative square root of 36 I squared minus 4 times minus 1, right? Because a is equal 1, so I didn't write this. Divided by 2. 2 times 1 equals 2. So you know that I square is equal negative 1, and yes, let me scroll down. So t will be equal 3i positive and negative square root of I told you I square equals negative 1, so it means that's equal minus 36, and this is positive 4. Minus 36 plus 4 equals minus 32 divided by, divided by 2. So we have 3i positive and negative 4 square root of 2 times I divided by 2, and that's equal 3i positive and negative I 2 square root of 2. Yes, that's it. So let me continue. I told you t was equal e to the power of ix. Now you can use it. E to the power of ix equals 3i positive and negative I times 2 square root of 2. So I put ln behind this equation, and it means I can put ln. So on the left side I can just write ix. Why? Because let me write it, let me full ln e to the power of ix equals ln absolute value of 3i positive and negative I 2 square root of 2. You can move ix behind the ln, and you know that ln e equals positive 1. So let me do it. Ix will be equal ln the absolute value of 3i positive and negative positive and negative I let me clean it, I 2 square root of 2. So we wanted to find x, so it means from this equation x will be equal ln absolute value of 3i positive and negative I times 2 square root of 2 divided by I. But you know that, let me write a nice point. You know that if you have ln AB, you can write it as ln A plus ln B. So if you look at here, you can factor I and write x as x will be equal ln absolute value I times 3 positive and negative 2 times the square root of 2. Of course we can do it. Okay, so according to this really nice point, we can write x as ln I plus ln absolute value of 3 positive and negative 2 square root of 2 divided by I. And now it is the another question, it says you have to find ln I, but I want to show you the answer in this video. In one of my videos, and I put the link of that video in description, I told you that the most beautiful equation in math, e to the I pi, e to the power of I pi plus 1 equal 0. You can use Euler's formula to prove it. So e to the power of I pi will be equal minus 1. And you know that the I squared equals minus 1. So how can you write this? you can write e to the I pi, e to the power of I pi equals I squared. So you can write e to the power of I pi divided by 2 equals I. Okay, so for ln I, instead of I, you can use ln e to the power of I pi divided by 2. So I told you can move this one behind the ln and sorry, behind the ln, not here, ln behind the ln. So, and you know that ln e equals positive 1. So it means that's equal just I pi divided by 2, or half of I pi. So let's find x. Finally we reach x. ln I was equal I pi divided by 2 plus ln absolute value of 3 positive and negative square root of 2 times square root of 2 divided by I. And you know that of course we can delete I from the first side, from this one. I think, let me don't do this, sorry, mistake. Yes, x will be equal pi, half pi divided by 2 plus ln absolute value of 3 positive and negative 2 times square root of 2 divided by I. And I want to multiply multiply this sentence by I, because that will be better, and that will be equal pi divided by 2 plus or it's better to write minus, right? Because I squared equals minus 1. I times ln absolute value of 3 positive and negative 2 times square root of 2. And I wanna use positive and negative behind the ln. What can I do? I can write x equals pi divided by 2. How can I do this? I can put positive and negative I ln 3 plus 2 square root of 2. Why? Because we had positive and negative here, and I moved it in behind the ln. So you can do it if you want. And you know that instead of ln, that's positive, so that's okay. And you know that, don't forget, the sine x is a periodic function, and I told you at the first of the video why that's it. So you have to add 2k, sorry, 2k pi, or it's better to write, it's coming to write 2 pi times chi, not a different, 2 pi times chi, not a different, sorry, if you can use both of them. And chi is an integer numbers, and we find x, and it means to, it's better to say we find all of the solutions for this really nice equations. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching. And if you have another solutions for this equation, please write your solutions and comments. And thank you, have a good day.